All right. Okay. So this is going to be a super quick video. Um, just kind of helping us speed run um, doing this game. So I'm not going to be playing it in a way that will enable me to win the game because I don't think you can with one person. But I don't know. Regardless, when you're playing, you want to make sure that you've got your fetch modus set to the one that you want. I like the array modus. It's the easiest. You can access any item in your inventory at any time. Get your class spec set. You can use any of these. I do this because I know exactly what I want to play. Character creation, super easy. And this is your build. I have my own build that I made for myself. So there's that. And then we start playing. And we wait for the game to load. Here it is. What do you mean connection lost? I am the host. Leave me alone. Okay. Okay. So here I am in my room. There's somebody talking to me. You don't really need to pay attention to this, though it can be kind of helpful if you haven't played this game before. I have a whole bunch of stuff that I already know that I'm going to want, that I've already got in my inventory. So I don't want any of that. Oh, back up, back up, back up. Okay, these blue boxes are fun. They give you extra inventory slots. Okay. Then I'm gonna come in here, grab that. I should probably explain what I'm doing here. So this over here is your strife specipus. Each weapon, like let me put this in my inventory so I can look at it. You can look at it and see how here it says pronged kind, but then this bow and arrow, if I look at it, it says bow kind. So you can only have 4 types of weapons in your strife specipus, and once you put a weapon in your specipus, you cannot change it. So I've got bow kind, needle kind, and I'm going to grab my rapier here, and this is blade kind. So I've got one other type of weapon that I could add, and then I will not be able to add any other type of weapons. I like to keep one weapon slot open just in case, to make sure that if I find a really cool weapon in a dungeon, even if I don't have the specimens for it, I can still pick it up. I also discovered you can do this, so I want my rapier to be bound to my 1 key, and then we'll put my bow on my 2 key, so that it's just a little bit easier to access. And then there's nothing else really that we need to worry about. Your first objective is always going to be the same. It's going to be to find and beat up your parent. Let me run in here real quick, though, and grab this other card that I've got in here. And then one more card here. And then there's a laptop here in the chest, and I'm going to yoink that because that's going to be really helpful later. And then I come out here. Hello, Father. Press my 1 key to switch to my rapier. And then I come over here, and you just left click. Your dad's not going to do, or mom, or parent, they're not going to do a lot of damage to you. You're going to get that spurb disc, and this 0 up in the corner is going to start flashing. You click on that, and you get your level up, music plays, you advance your eshladder, and you do a little dance. There's also a note. Sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're not. Some people like to keep them. I like to just take my note and put it over here. let my friend George here keep an eye on it. Hello, George, my friend. So then, once you have the disc, this is also why it's good to fight your parent in an open area so that you can get the disc more easily, because sometimes they do disappear. You're either going to need to go to a computer like this one, and you could plug it into this computer. But what I like to do is I'll drop my laptop here and I'll drag it over to my laptop, because then I can pick up my laptop, put it in my inventory, and you can either pick up your laptop by, hang on, by, well, I guess it's just you press the laptop button and then it puts you in your inventory. But then straight from your inventory, you've got this build option that will take you into build mode. Now, when we're playing this as a group, you're going to see somebody else's house, but because I'm the only one on here, it shows me my house. And then the next thing you got to do, most houses will have a whole bunch of miscellaneous stuff out here for decoration and all that sorts. I need to update this because I figured out how to make an actual driveway. But you can just start eating stuff like that, like these plants especially. If somebody's super attached to them, you can keep them, but just make sure you ask your client player before you start deleting stuff that's in the actual house, because you never know when... Oh, also these little red and yellow flower things, those are also deletable. I call this eating things for grist. And you just gotta do this a whole bunch of times. My delete key, for whatever reason, isn't working. Otherwise, you could just press delete. But just drag it up to the delete. And I don't know much about editing videos, but I'll see if I can fast forward this in any way, shape, or form when I'm done recording. We'll see. If you're hearing this, I couldn't figure it out. So apologies. Let me just eat a couple more trees. You don't need a whole bunch of grist, because a lot of the items that you're initially going to use are going to be free. But we'll get to that in just a second. And then, like, all these fences. Fences can usually be deleted. They're usually not useful. This car, there's no reason to keep a car. You can't drive it yet. I don't know if they're going to add that, but I'm going to delete that. And some of these gates, so at least it's a little bit easier to get in and out. And now there's a second level to my house, and you can see all inside my house. You can see all the things. To get to the second level, you're going to come up to this keypad right here and just click the up arrow. And that'll show you the top level of the house. Well, the second level of the house. There's one more level. And then we're going to delete these. There, sorry, hair in my mouth. And we're going to go up one more level, and that's where I'm going to be putting a lot of my stuff. Okay. So now, I know stairs are dangerous, but we're using the stairs. Stairs actually aren't that bad. There are much worse things to use here. And I'm putting down 2 of them because I want to, and it's fun. And I'm also getting rid of this gate because gates are evil, and I need to change that in my personal build. All right. So now we're going to worry about the free machines that you get. And they're up here in this Fernalia registry. And they're the Cruxtruder, the Punch Designix, the Totem Lathe, the Alchemeter, and the Pre-Punched Card. Don't mess with any of these except the pre-punched card until you are ready to enter the game. Like, you've got everything you need, you've got enough grist to start building stuff, anything like that, okay? Because otherwise, it'll get messy. So we're going to put the crux extruder right here. And I'm not sure what the original controls are. Let me get out of here real quick. So to see your controls, just come up here to settings, controls, and then, oh, and I'm sorry, I got here by pressing escape. I'm not good at this yet, in case you couldn't tell. To rotate camera, R and T, but I don't do that a whole bunch. I have my rotate objects in House Builder set to Z and C, but you can see whatever the default is in here and just do whatever you want with it. I just find Z and C convenient. We're going to go back to build mode, and next we're going to deploy the totem lathe. And really, they don't have to be facing in any particular direction. I just find this direction. What the flippity-doo-dah just happened? Oh, sorry. Anyway, crux extruder right there. And totem lathe. And then the alchemeter. I'll stick that there. And move the totem lathe over so we've got a little bit of room. And then the punch design X. You're not going to do a whole bunch with the punch design X, but it is good to make sure that you have it. Now, the last thing is the pre-punched card. And the pre-punched card is a little finicky to deal with. So in order to make sure that it doesn't fall into the unknown, we're going to come down here, make sure you're on the base level as low as you can go, and find an area of grass where there's nothing in your screen that's showing a building. So something like that. Just do the best that you can. And then you're going to click on the pre-punched card because it's just going to drop. And sometimes you can pick it up and go up to a higher level, but it's really finicky. I'm going to try somehow manage to keep it. And I'll see if it'll let me drop it here. It did. Okay. So sometimes that works, sometimes that doesn't. But regardless, that's how you deal with the pre-punched card. Either just drop it on the ground and have your client player go get it, or drop it and see if you can maneuver it up there. And if you lose it, it's fine. You can get as many of these as you want. There's actually no limit, and I'm sure there's an exploit for that somewhere. But now I'm going to get out of build mode, come up these stairs, and we're going to pick up, pick up. So it'll come up like that as a pre-punched gray something. Sometimes it's an apple, sometimes it's a piñata. There's really no rhyme or reason to what it is. Then you'll come over to this one, the crux extruder, and you're going to click on it and select pry open. And this is going to start your clock. Once the clock is started, this thing will pop out. Don't worry about it. It's your kernel sprite. It's not going to do anything just yet. You're going to select the Cruxite dowel. And then you're going to come over here and drag your pre-punched card and your Cruxite dowel into the totem lathe and click lathe. There's actually, in the original source material, there's a way to give the kernel sprite specific attributes, but they don't have that in the game yet. But since our totem has been lathed, we will take it and put it in our inventory. Then we'll come over here to the alchemeter, drop it into the alchemeter, and click create. And then we'll click on, you'll get the tree. Everyone gets a tree, and then it'll turn into whatever was on the card. Then you click on the item, unless it's being stupid. Hello. And you can either pick it up or you can click enter, and we're going to click enter. Because if you don't get in... Oh, I got a rabbit. I'm just going to skip through this. Yeah, I know who you are, totally. So do you see how this timer says 3 minutes? That's how much longer I had to get in before I died. Because once you open the Cruxtruder, meteors are coming for you, and they're gonna blast you in the face, and you've got 4 minutes and 13 seconds to get in the game. So now we are in the game. Hello. The lighting is weird. Okay, whatever. Is it still weird up on the top? That is bizarre. Okay. So for your server, ooh, you can kind of see it there. Yeah, right here. This purple thing, that is our gate. That's what's going to let us get into our land. Now, if you come over here, look at the map, land of demons and clowns. Lovely. You can see this green bit is our home in our little island, and we need to get down there and fight stuff. And why does it have to be demons and clowns? It's because I picked Prince of Rage. So what you're gonna do is you are gonna need to help your client player build up to the gates, to these purple things. Well, they'll be whatever color your client player has picked. But help them build up to them so that they can get down safely. And we're going to do that right quick. I'm just going to stand over here so I'm not in the way. So this is pretty convenient because we can see relatively where the gate is. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't, and we've already got some imps spawning. That's lovely. But we will start building up to that. And the quickest way to build up to it is with the magnificence of the toilet tower. Now, to build up to it, you've got your building tools here. You've got select. It'll let you just select a bunch of stuff. Revise is what lets you build. Deploy gives you all of this stuff that you can put down. There's so much. Bulldoze will let you destroy things. And then Fernalia Registry, this thing doesn't do anything right now, so don't worry about it. But we're going to go to revise, and we're going to make sure that the 3D shape is selected because we need to make a box. And we're going to put it right there. And then we're going to go up a level, and we're going to make a platform. And you can do that by, again, going to revise and making sure the 2D shape is selected. And then we'll select the 3D shape again, create a 1x1, and then just keep repeating this. Fun fact, you can't go too high because there are multiple gates, and people are not going to be able to get to your house and live until you've built up to all of those gates, because they're going to come out of the top gate, and if they just keep falling for ages, then they're going to die, because fall damage, you do take fall damage. And we're just going to keep building up. And once you've got all your toilets in place, if this is too much of an eyesore for you, you can delete the toilets. Not the toilets. Ooh, are we there already? Might be. I think we need to go up one more level. I don't know if there's an exact science to knowing how many high your toilet tower needs to be. But like I said, you can't go too high. Let's see, if I go down a couple levels. Maybe this level. Okay, it looks like this level might be the right level. So we're gonna take our 2D platform and we're gonna make little path here. If it'll let me. Okay. And see, anytime you build stuff like this that's bigger than a 1x1, imps are going to start to spawn, so just be aware of that. You don't want to start dropping ogres on top of like a player who's never played before. That does not go well. Okay, so it looks like this is the right level for that first gate. And just to preserve grist, I'm going to bulldoze a little bit of this. But yeah, you can see all these imps spawning up here. And we're going to make this platform just a little bit bigger so we can make sure that we can get to the gate. But I don't want to deal with those imps up there right now because I don't want to take all that fall damage when they knock me off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here and I'm going to clean up all these imps down here first. And then I will build some more spawning platforms, and we'll talk about spawning platforms once we get that taken care of. So I've got my rapier equipped, and I'm just going to go to town. I like playing Prince of Rage because it's the most aggressive class, so you do more damage, I think. I don't know. But also your abilities are more combat-oriented. Playing a prince in general makes you a little more combat-oriented, just because of the way the classes work. And then we got our level up, and that should give us our first skill. Now, if you click on the 2, and then you can come over here to abilities. My first ability is Destroy. I press my middle button on my mouse, and it reduces the target's damage output. If you have if you're playing on a laptop and you're playing with a trackpad, I don't know what the frick you're doing, but bold move. So if I come over here and I target this guy and I press my middle button, it'll send that little thing at him and we'll get the little rage icons and he'll be able to do less damage to me. Not that I really need it against these guys, but it's good practice. You can talk to your kernel sprites if you want to. They don't say a whole bunch. They're not really as helpful as they are in the original source material, but the original source material is kind of vast, so. Okay. Looks like we're pretty cleaned up here. Let me switch into build mode real quick. Okay, so there's one over there. Alright. Alright, so there's just one. So now I'm going to build a spawning platform. So to do that, we just click revise, and we click the 2D shape. And then we just make a big old platform, and we can delete this later. But what that's going to do is you saw how up there all the guys started spawning the minute I started building stuff. There they go. They like spawning on things that you build. And you can delete this later and get your grist back. But I just want more hunting grounds. And the higher up they are, higher up the platforms are, the more enemies they'll spawn as well. Okay, looks like I'm out of grist. But this is also a good time to learn how to use your weapon. So I'll switch to bow and arrow. And if there's a big group of them, I like to use a ranged attack to kind of get the attention of one of them. And then I'll switch back to my... What is happening? Oh, I dropped it out of my Solidex. Okay, bunny ear in the way. My guy. My dude friend bromance. We're gonna put that back. And then we gotta re-put that in my 2 slot. Okay. So you can do that if you want to. I don't, because I like just stabbing large groups of people at once. I find it entertaining. Sometimes these little tiny cubes will get annoying with being picked up. It's whatever. The great thing is you have to do something really stupid to die when you're fighting imps on your island, because your Colonel Sprite is going to shoot healing beams at you and keep you from getting too low health. So I'll just go over there. No! Leave! That is one obnoxious thing about the Colonel Sprite. And you can click anywhere, just so long as you're clicking. That'll use your attack. And that makes your home island a great place to level up. So now we've got Empower. So it empowers my next basic attack. And depending on your class, you might have similar, you might have not so similar abilities. Use my Q. Alright. I'm gonna come fight this ogre. Let's see how bad of an idea this is. So always be using your abilities whenever you can. If you don't see that they're cooling off in the bottom, you should be using them. It's the ABCs of the Genesis Project. Always be casting. We're gonna do that and do this. Again, I'll try and cut some of this out, but if you're seeing all of this, then I can figure out how to cut it out. So, sorry. Yeah, I like to use my home platform because he's not going to come with you down onto your land. Once you leave your home, Colonel Sprite's not going to come with you. So you're going to be on your own. And we'll talk about healing on your own if you're not playing a healing aspect or class in a minute. And then we're up to level 4, and we get Turmoil. Ooh, that's going to be fun. Okay. We're going to use Turmoil on this dude. And then we're going to just spam all our buttons and see now they're beating each other up. Turmoil. Ah! But yeah, just keep moving, keep spam clicking. If you've got a weapon with a high enough speed, you probably won't even be able to click as many times as the weapon can attack. I don't know. Let's kill this last guy. Alright. And then I don't think there's anything else on this platform. So what we're going to do, we're going to go into build mode again and just bulldoze it. Get all that grist back. It's like an investment, because now I have more grist than I started with. So, and we'll go back to the roof. And we'll climb... Oh, I didn't put the toilets into the toilet tower yet. Okay. Alright. Hello, yes, I see you. Okay, and we're gonna go to build again. And we're gonna come to the deploy menu. And if I'm remembering correctly, the toilet, it's here in this middle column right above all the trees. See, all the things that you destroyed, even George, can be put back if you really want to. There's even a car. There's all the things, so don't worry too much about it. But the reason that we use toilets is because, I mean, I suppose you could use any other chair, but toilets are funnier. And we love a visual gag. Is because you can sit on the toilet, and from where you're seated, you can reach a toilet directly above you and sit in that. And it's just a really quick way to get up without the complexities of having to try to navigate stairs, because stairs are tough, man. I'm warning you about the stairs. I'm telling you, bro. They're hard. So yeah, we can see there another higher up gate. I'm just gonna keep putting down toilets. Alright. Then there we've got gate 1. Gate 2's up there. And then, last thing I'm gonna do before I go in there. Oh, that's one too low. So, something that your client player will thank you for very much. 2 things. It's the 1, 2, 3, 4th column down, 4th row down, 4th column to the right. This little blue thing, these are those inventory boxes I was talking about. You put down a couple of those, your client player is going to be able to have much larger inventory, and they'll thank you for it. I'm also going to put down a chest or 2 to put things in, because once I'm in the Vale, I'm not going to have much use from my laptop, but I don't want to lose it. So I'm going to put those down so that I have room to put stuff, and if your client player wants to mess around with alchemy, they can do that as well. So I'm going to come over here, grab this card to increase my inventory, and then we're going to take the laptop and put it in the chest. That way, if I die, I won't lose it. Okay, now this is a bit of a problem. Okay. There we go. And we ascend. Alright. Okay. I wonder if I can cheese them with the bow and arrow. Kind of. Not really. Okay. Alright. So you gotta be careful up here, or you will get knocked off. Fortunately, our Colonel Sprite's here to heal us. And you just want to advance slowly so you're only aggroing so many at a time. Because if this ogre gets a good hit on us while we're up here, it's going to be really fun trying to survive that. Okay. Forget what the jumpy boys are called. Okay. So now we're free and clear, and we can head into our land. Oh, you want beef? Let me poke this guy until he dies. Now we can head into our land, I think. Yeah. So I can head into this portal, and it'll take me down to my land, and then most any portal will take me back up here. Taking higher up portals will take you to your friends' lands, but just make sure that they have platforms so that you don't fall through and die. So we're going to come in here and see there's already another portal right there. These little structures here, they'll orient you on your map if you're having trouble. But let's talk about the map real quick. So all these things you see are portals. These white things, those are the map orientation areas. And then these gray shapes, those are dungeons. And there's two kinds of dungeons. Apparently there's a dungeon near here. Let me see. I know, Charles. Give me a second. So everyone's dungeons are going to look different. Sometimes it'll look like a pipe coming out of the ground with a bunch of $1 coins coming out of it. But sometimes they'll look like these. Sometimes they'll have a sword coming out of it. Charles Xavier! Sir, I just fed you. You're not starving. Okay? Give Mommy a minute. Okay? 1 minute. Alright, so let's go in, and there's two types of dungeons. Okay, this is my preferred type of dungeon. This dungeon is a bunch of rooms. And that big green blobby thing went in here, so we're going to come in here. Now, be careful with the bear traps. Yes, they do work. Yes, they will eat you, and the whole entire server will hear it. So, just be warned. So these are my favorite type of dungeons, the ones with rooms, because then you're less likely to get ambushed by a whole bunch of dangerous stuff in one go. Oh, gotta level up. Nice. We're at Dreaming Nobleman. Neat. Charles Xavier, I am trying to play video games. Okay? You're very cute, but give me a minute. Okay. So I like these. Those teleporter pads will always take you back out. We were already going that way, so let's go this way. The other ones are long hallways, and there's just no escaping, so. And there's also, you have to wait until the end to get the prizes. But these ones, they've got prizes along the way. Pogo Arms, Smart Hammer, Betty Crocker, Barber Soul Bomb, and Paper Horses. I don't think bomb kind. Okay, so you can use that as a weapon. I'm good. I'm gonna leave that here. Sometimes you find stuff in there you like, sometimes you don't. It's kind of just luck of the draw. It's just random crap. Kill a few more imps. Open this one. Charles Xavier. Oh, okay, this is good. Alright, so apple juice. Put that in your inventory 100%. What is this? Okay, it's a dress. Cool. Let's put that back in the chest. But you can eat food items to regain health. So that's how you're going to heal out here in this lawless land without a Colonel Sprite. So if you have some in your home, make sure to bring them. If you don't, try and find some. And again, all these guys aren't super bad. They look terrifying. They call them like lich things. But they're not really that bad. They don't. Honestly, the big mothership type things that spit out the little babies are the most obnoxious ones I've faced. Let's go this way. I don't think that does anything, but I don't want to die and find out, so. I'll stab you. Oh my gosh, Trixie. Tricky little bugger. And go this way, nothing in here. Ooh, okay. So every one of these room dungeons will have a chest like this. That's going to be in your land. It'll be in your colors, and it'll have the little thing on it, little symbol. So you click on it, and it does like a kind of a neat animation, and then it'll drop out a whole bunch of stuff. Looks like in this one we've got a pogo hat, a trumpet, a bouncy ball, pogo eye patch. Not a whole bunch of useful stuff. There's far too many pogo items in this game, in my opinion, but I'm not in charge of the world yet, so. Oh, geez. Okay. Try not to flip your perspective while you're in here, because you will get confused. Did I go through this door? Yeah, I did. Okay. So usually once you find that chest, that's really all there is in the dungeon. And then we can head back out. And then let me see if I can find you guys a hallway dungeon. First off, what is this? I don't know what this is. Hello, bird. Sometimes you can pick up animals in your land. Sir Xavier, I'm going to put you outside. Let's see. There's one right there. We'll head right towards it. And you can move while you're in map mode. But there are imps and things that roam around here just freely, so be careful. Okay. Yeah, see? Random imp. But we're high enough level now. That is one thing I recommend, getting at least to level 5 on your island before venturing out into your land. What the heck is this? I mean, I get it's a dungeon, but... Oh, geez. Oh, this is new. I haven't seen this before. Oh, this is neat. I haven't seen a dungeon with stairs before. This is cool. Okay. So it's still got our enter-exit portal pad. Then it goes down? Ooh. Trapdoors. Okay. Cool. So now we know to look out for those trapdoors that will drop us down with no regard for life or limb. So we'll keep an eye out for things like that on the floor. Looks like these are what? More stairs? Okay. This is interesting. Is it just because of the land and the land I have? Ooh. Okay, these holes, those are spikes. Don't walk on them. They make loud noise and they kill you instantly. There's nothing you can do. You are insta-dead. No, I'm not going to show you. Ooh. Is that a door? Okay, that is a door. I thought it might be some sort of trap. Sorry, I keep flipping. Use door. Okay, so we've got more of those traps. Is there a way to get around them? I don't want to be a shish kebab today. Okay. This is actually kind of working to my favor. I don't know what those things will do. I'm assuming bad. I don't want to find out. Okay, doors. Okay, alright, this room's fine. This room just has bad imps in it, liches. Mutant plush, Hot God poster, Dare Sight plush, Candy Crusher, Pogo headphones. I'm good. Ooh, coffins. Murder. Ooh, there's one of those tiny things, so that means there's a mama nearby? Where is she? Okay, now here's the real question. Is there stuff in the coffins? No? Okay. Interesting. I haven't seen, like, seriously, I haven't seen a dungeon with stairs in it before. This is really neat. Okay. 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 Don't step on the holes. What's in the chest? We've got a Nerf shotgun, Queen of the Sea, declassy mask. Nothing really super interesting. Ooh, those holes on the walls, those are also death. Anything in the stack of books? No? Okay. Alright. One. Oh, geez. Again, I don't. Okay, they don't seem to be injuring me, which is a plus. Ooh, again, holes. Watch out for holes. Holes are bad. Oh, which door? This door. Okay. Not that bad. Yeah, the ogres don't scare me as much as they should. Okay, before I continue in this big room, let's see what's in the little room. So this is basically what you do once you get off your island. You run around adventuring, finding things. Ooh, trapdoors. Watch those. Watch those. See, I think that one was activated by grist. Yep, there's the grist. One thing I will say about this game is the diagonal angle. Like, I understand it's because it's the angle that the original source material was in, but it's a little interesting to try to navigate. So we're just gonna... more chests up here. Ooh, another item card. Yes, please. So, fun thing about the item cards, you keep them until you die. Once you die, you cannot... Earrings, Regisicle, Sunnyside Scrambler, Firework Rocket. Not super impressed. You keep the new cards until you die. Once you die, you're reset back to your original 4. Manthro Chap, Stand Fan, Pogo Lance, another Nerf shotgun. Alright, good. Let's see. What's behind a small door in the big room? Ooh, there's another trapdoor. Now that I know what they look like, they're pretty easy to spot. Mausoleums. Okay. Spade earrings, colored cattail, unicorn horn. What's this? Can you fight with this? Rifle kind. Interesting. Yeah, I'll hold on to it. No, well. Okay. Let's... Can I go inside the mausoleum? No. I know I'm making this as like a tutorial thing, and you think, well, Claire, shouldn't you know if you know can do all of those things? I mean, I don't know, man. We've been through here before. We have. Okay. So now let's go through the big doors. Okay, so this right here is a lot more reminiscent of your standard hallway dungeon. Just a long hallway with a bunch of evil things that are trying to murder you. And yes, they are evil. It's not you're the one invading and taking over. They were created by the in-game god. I keep setting off my turmoil. To be evil. They were made for you to defeat. There are people in this land world. And see, the bear traps do work. And they'll let you go after a minute, but they do take some health off of you. In a minute, we'll see people who are actually not needing to be murdered. But these guys need to be killed. Okay. And then use door. And we've got our path back out to the outside. I was hoping there would be something bigger and cooler. Oh! Okay. So, glad I found this. Thought there was something weird about this dungeon. This is the denizen of my world. The denizen is like one of the final bosses you have to beat the game. I've never actually found a denizen before. um, I didn't know that this was here. This is good to know. Yes, you can fight her, but I don't want to right now. I just want to leave. No, let me leave. How do I escape? I use the door. Shoot, is there no way out of here? I'm trying. Okay, well, I've kind of shown you everything I want to show you. So what happens? Lich Queen. Okay, cool. I just wanted to leave, personally. That was all I wanted. This is neat. Cool. Hi, ma'am. I'm sorry, but I'm going to attempt to stab you. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. How am I not dead? 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 Okay. Okay. This is fun. This is fun. I'm enjoying myself. We're gonna eat our apple juice, gain some health. Ooh, she's showing some damage. Okay. How am I not dead? That's what I want to know. How am I winning? I know I've got all these... Oh, gosh. I just killed my denizen. Okay, cool. So, that's a thing that you're gonna have to do at some point. Um, that was really cool. So, that happened. Can I go back in? Just drops me straight at the beginning. So basically, everyone has to defeat their denizens. And then I think there might be a battle on Skya. Um, yeah, we're gonna go home for a sec. There's a friggin' imp in my room. Get out. Hi, Mr. Bun Buns. Good to see you. I'm just kind of out of it, man. Get out of my dad's room. How did I do that? You're stupid and dumb, die. Okay. Let me take my laptop. And I haven't died yet. What in the name of Mike? Okay. So basically, the rest of the game is build up. This is a lot longer than I thought it would be. I did not think that I would find that. Well, now you know if you come to a dungeon and it has stairs, your denizen's at the end. So mark that on your map and come back to it when you're feeling confident. I have honestly no clue how I did that. Um, and I'm going to stop recording this here. And holy cow. That's basically the game. Eventually, your gates will take you to your friends' houses. But don't start traveling to other gates until other people have all of their platforms set up so that people can come in and not die. Um, we're gonna call that there. Um, let me know if you have questions.